Hey there, Yorktown. It's Supervisor Matt Slater coming with a special weekend COVID-19 update. I'm joined by our Police Chief, Robert Noble, and our Parks and Rec Director, James Martirano. I just wanted to give everyone a quick update as we head into Memorial Day weekend on the COVID-19 situation in the town of Yorktown. According to the latest numbers, we have 44 active cases in the town of Yorktown, and we have a total of 597. We have one new case, so again, those numbers are trending down, which is exciting to see. And we heard earlier today from the governor that if we continue on the current trajectory that we are on, the Mid-Hudson region, which is our region that the town of Yorktown and Westchester County is a part of, will begin the Phase 1 opening, could begin the Phase 1 opening, we hope, next week. So very important during this weekend, continue to stay safe, we continue to stay smart, make socially responsible decisions, and most importantly, stay focused, because we are very close to begin that reopening process. As a reminder, it's Memorial Day weekend. I want to acknowledge our veterans. I want to acknowledge those brave men and women who've made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of our freedoms. We are going to celebrate their lives and remember them on Monday. We'll be providing two virtual Memorial Day ceremonies, one at 11 a.m. over in Shrub Oak at the Honor Roll outside of John C. Hart Library, and one at 11:30 at Patriot Park located next to the Town Hall. As a reminder, there is no Memorial Day parade this year. Gatherings are still not allowed for large gatherings, or gatherings in general are still not allowed. We are going to be allowed to have a gathering of 10 for our Memorial Day services. So please feel free to follow us on Facebook Monday at 11 and 11:30 to participate in our Memorial Day ceremonies. And I want to thank Councilman Tommy Diana for organizing our ceremonies this year. As a reminder, bulk trash pickup schedule has been modified quite a few times. I just want to continue to reiterate that to folks. Section 5 is set to begin this Tuesday, because Monday is a holiday. So Section 5 is to begin Tuesday. Section 6 is to begin Monday, June 8th. Section 7 to begin Monday, June 22nd. Please continue to monitor the town's website for those updates. I want to thank, of course, Chief Noble for sending out a Nixle alert on that as well. I want to thank the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce for posting the message up on their electronic board in the middle of the Heights, and as well as over at the PD. Thank you for doing that. So important to continue to keep updated on the bulk trash schedule. It was also in the Yorktown News this week as well. It was also this week we celebrated EMS Week. We just spent time with our Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps. I paid a visit along with Councilman Ed Lachterman and Councilman Tom Diana to our friends at the Mohegan Volunteer Ambulance Corps. To all of our EMS service members, we really want to thank you and acknowledge the incredible work you do for us every day, but especially during the COVID-19 crisis, right on the front lines, continuing to answer every call. And again, as a volunteer corps, as a volunteer ambulance corps, both YVAC and MVAC, we really want to acknowledge our neighbors and their service to our community. So to all of our EMS members, thank you on behalf of the entire town and community of Yorktown. We're going to talk about parks in just a bit with our park superintendent, but I did speak with the state earlier today. FDR Park will not be charging for parking this weekend. That's for all state parks. That remains in effect. So for folks in Yorktown, you can still drive into FDR Park and utilize the park. There is, it's important to note, going to be a 50% cap on parking for FDR Park and all of our state parks. So we may be filling that capacity this weekend depending on how many people go out. But I did receive quite a few phone calls and emails from folks inquiring. There will be no parking charge at FDR Park this week. Traditionally on Sundays we've been doing a Q&A, but because it's a holiday weekend we're going to be forgoing that this Sunday. But as always, you can email me at mslater@yorktownny.org. If you do have a question over the weekend, I'm happy to answer them. You can also call Town Hall, my office. We're going to be checking the messages and that's 914-962-5722, extension 200. And feel free to leave a message over the weekend, and either myself or my staff or one of our board members will gladly get back to you. I want to introduce again Chief Robert Noble. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you and your entire force for the absolutely incredible job you've all done during the crisis. Just steady as they come. That's really the way I look at our police department, just absolutely the rock of our community, foundation of our community, and we really do appreciate everything that you've all done for us.
Oh, thank you.
And would you like to share some tips and safety reminders for the weekend?
No, well, thank you for your kind words and having the support of the town board. You know, like we always say, we're better with the backing of our community, and you know, with the town board's backing, it allows us to do our job to our best capabilities. So thank you for that. You know what? As we see it around town, we see a great deal of responsible behavior. I think most people get it, and I think, you know, if you want to call it the summer of personal responsibility, I think that's what it has to be. I mean, we have some of the power to get into the phase one, the phase two, and that's to you know, to keep up the smart behavior. While some will tell you that you have the constitutional right not to wear a mask, well, you know what? If a proprietor of a store, a deli, a mini mart, Lowe's, they ask you to wear a mask, you need to wear a mask, or you need to leave. It's that simple. So again, most people, they're with the program, and they realize they don't want to spread this COVID to anybody else, and they are doing that. There are a few who like to push their luck, and we've been called to a handful of calls like that. And thankfully, again, once my officers who communicate as well as any police department in this area do, they, you know, it's been mitigated, you know, without any summonses and without any arrests being made. But please, be part of the solution and not part of the program. Also, with the good weather coming up, as you had mentioned, I'm sure people are going to probably want to hike Turkey Mountain or get on the bike path. Please park responsibly.
Yes.
We don't want to have to tow your vehicles. Parking on the shoulder is not permissible. It's parking on pavement. You can get a summons for that. Also, if you're parking in a manner that obstructs the view at intersections, again, it's unsafe for people trying to leave, you know, a Turkey Mountain or any other, you know, passive trail. Please be mindful of your parking so as not to make our roads dangerous. I'd like to remind the public that we haven't seen an increase in automobile accidents or, you know, anything like that. We have a few, you know, who drive irresponsibly, but by and large, I'd like to compliment the masses here in Yorktown for really being part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. As you alluded to, the track in town is open, and you know, we're giving everybody a shot, right? We want to see if everybody can behave. You don't want to be the mayor in Jaws who's letting everybody go in the water too soon. Right. So we're trusting people to be smart out there at our parks. And you know, with our director Jim Martirano here, I can say that our police department, we don't want to spend a lot of time at that track. So we are asking for everyone's cooperation out there. Please be respectful of each other, and you want to go out there and enjoy the fresh air. Just be mindful of the pandemic that we're dealing with, and how some people may be a little more fearful than others. So you know, just be nice out there and respect other people's health when you're out and about. As far as reminders, again, we're not heavy-handed. We find that you know, making requests, and we get a lot of cooperation through that. We are still on pause. We still cannot have large gatherings. We can't really have gatherings of any nature. So, you know, again, if you're going to have a backyard barbecue, be smart. Definitely don't have it on your front yard. And again, you know, just be smart out there. You know, we want everybody to be able to enjoy themselves. That's what makes America great. But again, be personally responsible. Help us help you. Did I touch on, what else can I?
100%. I do want to just emphasize the point that when it came to the track, both the closure of the track and the reopening. It was in collaborative effort with the chief, Jim Moderano, our parks director, as well as the town board, having those conversations constantly and consistently to determine when we were at the point to close it, and also to the point where we hope we are now, where it's safe to reopen it, but to reemphasize the track. It's about social responsibility. Please respect the track, respect the community, respect your neighbors, respect yourselves, and hopefully we can continue to enjoy that as a great facility here in town. Since we've sat here, received 4 emails thanking us for opening it, but just make sure you respect the track. Jim, you want to give us some insight?
Yeah, I'd like to go a step further on that as well. Since the COVID hit, you've come to me and said, we got to reopen these parks, but we have to do it in a healthy manner, in a smart manner. And you brought in a lot of doctors that came in and talked about micro droplets. And once we started hearing about that, we decided to shut down the track. And what micro droplets are, as you exhale, these micro droplets go in the air and they land on someone else's face, someone else's shirt, so on and so forth. At that point, that's when we made that late decision to shut down the track. And it was scary. You don't want to be a part of, continuing the spread of this virus. So we discussed, what was the smartest way to go about it to avoid that issue. And we retrofitted the track to be as safe as possible. So if you go out to the track either tonight or tomorrow or this week, Memorial Day weekend, you'll see that there's 3 lanes. The inner lane is a jogging lane, the middle lane is for passing, and the outer lane is for walking. This is simply a guide. You don't have to stay within the track lines per se, but use that as a guide. And if you can't stay within 6 feet, you must put your mask back on and pass appropriately with your mask on. If you're not around anyone within 6 feet, you can pull your mask down. But you must have your mask at all times when you are on that track. So be responsible to your neighbors, and please help stop the spread of this virus. And other good news, we've also opened the tennis courts. Once again, we retrofitted those tennis courts to be a little bit safer. We took out that center court. And that's a little bit safer because as balls are going back and forth, they may cross over, and you don't want to get that traffic where you're crossing paths with someone else. And to have the mask on while you play the whole game, that may be a little bit troublesome. So you'll be able to put your mask down once again. If you come across one of your neighbors, please put it back on. We also put up rules that you're only allowed to play singles, no doubles. All right. So you'll see the rules when you attend tennis. We only have 2 tennis courts open, the Blackberry Woods, as well as the lower Downing courts. The other 2 courts, pickleball, we're putting into that court list. At Granite Knolls, we can't open that one because it's part of a bigger park with a lot of bigger active park, as well as Shrub Oak. It's part of a bigger active park. So if we open one, we have to open them all.
Right.
And also, while being that said, we did open up the track, but remember, the playgrounds and the workout equipment and the gazebo are still not open.
And the field.
Excuse me, thank you. And the field are still not open at Veterans Field. In other news, we just got word last night that the town of Cortland also canceled their camps. So that leaves Somers, Yorktown, and now Cortland, the 3 towns on the north part of the county, have now shut down their camps. Mm-hmm. So, it's a part of a regional view. We're doing this as a region, not as an individual town. So that's what you're probably going to see. You're going to get more and more announcements as we get closer to the summer. Matt and I discussed it a bunch of times, and we thought that getting the word out as soon as possible so parents could be ready for the summer as best they can and be prepared was an important message to put forward. You didn't want to wait till the last minute and then pull back, and then all of a sudden the parents out there would have trouble finding daycare. They also announced, Cortland, that they're shutting their pool down. They also had a construction project similar to us at Junior, so they had to unfortunately shut down their pool as well.
Junior pool is going to be closed.
Correct. Junior pool is going to be closed for the whole summer. We're still holding out hope for Shrub Oak. Currently, at this time, the Department of Health took back the permits all around Westchester County, including Shrub Oak Pool. So even if we wanted to open this Memorial Day weekend when we normally would, we could not. So we're looking for guidance for this region on when we can reopen pools of any kind. We have received guidance on beaches, so we do plan on opening Sparkle Lake Beach on schedule for June 22nd. Now, I've been given the assignment to retrofit that space to follow the requirements of COVID as well, and my staff and I are currently working on that. So you'll see more on that as we get closer to that June 22nd date. And more fun news, on our social media page, we've done a lot of fun activities over the past few weeks. We've done a trick shot. Congratulations to the Pace family that won that trick shot. Really cool video if you haven't checked that out. We're currently doing a draw flower for spring. So if you have kids at home, please check that out. We extended the deadline for that. We have a lot of good drawings, but we want a few more. So Tuesday will be the deadline for that contest. And we have a new contest we just put out today for the potential to be the cover of our next brochure next spring and summer. So go out there this Memorial Day weekend, obviously social distance, but take some nice photos of our town. We love to see what you come up with, and hopefully you'll be the next cover of our next spring and summer brochure.
Is that open to police officers?
Absolutely, Chief.
Okay.
But also, if for anyone who's going to be out taking photos for the cover, don't forget to submit that to the town as well, because we are collecting photos for the new website.
Great.
And so you can also see that photo potentially on our new website, which we expect to roll out by the end of June as well. So you can find that information on our current website, yorktownny.org.
And I also like just to thank my staff. They've been great. We've been at half staff this whole time, and they've really been working double time. They've made up for that loss of a person. So thank you, my Parks and Recreation staff. We couldn't have done all this without you guys.
And I concur with that. And really to all of our staff, they've been just tremendous. Working, to Jim's point, we've been mandated at a 50% cap by the state of New York. And so it's been a challenge. There's no doubt about that. But we've adapted as a government. We've adapted as individual departments. Our department heads have been just absolutely tremendous. Our employees have been tremendous, and they continue to perform at a very, very high level. So to all of our staff, and of course to our Parks and Rec and our police officers, thank you so much for your continued dedication to the community. It does not go unnoticed, and we all greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Anything you'd like to add, Chief?
Well, yeah, I'd say till I'm blue in the face, but to echo, Jim's statement, I've said it here many times before in the past, how proud I am to work with, the men and women at the Yorktown Police Department. All the first responders, whether it's Mohegan, Yorktown, either side of town, and even the staff of Yorktown, all of our employees, the people in Yorktown get services that I don't think are matched anywhere in the county. And sometimes that gets overlooked, but I know a lot of the people that work in town. I've been here many years, and like I said, I walk into that police department every day proud to work with the men and women, sworn and unsworn, that do the job every day. And I also need to thank the community, the Yorktown community. I mean, we've been on the receiving end of so much goodwill. That a lot of people see it half empty. I mean, I'm a half full guy all day long, and now I'm pretty full at capacity with all the goodwill that we've received from the people of Yorktown and even neighboring communities. So whether it be sending in kind notes, food, a lot of food, and or a nice little thing on Facebook, you know what I mean? It's not lost on us. We're very appreciative of that, and I think the people who roll out, and answer the calls 24/7. I'm hoping they pay that forward, and I think they are. From the letters that you and I receive and the compliments. So
Absolutely.
And and it's easy to do that when you guys give us the support. Like I said, the town board. So
we're happy to do it. We're proud to do it. And we just wanted to provide just one more update for everyone for Memorial Day weekend. Jim, anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, the chief touched on it. Remember, at our trails, please, if you see the trail is packed, turn around, find another trail. You can find a list of over 20 different trails you can walk on in our town at yourtowntrailtown.com. You probably sound like a broken record at this point with that website, but it's a great tool to use, and we don't want to overwhelm our passive parks. So please help with that.
And as a reminder, and we had our Parks and Rec Commission meeting last night, there are no ATVs allowed
Absolutely. No.
on those trails. Those are strictly hiking
Or,
and walking
dirt
trails.
bikes as well. Motorized dirt bikes,
Correct.
those are not allowed.
No motorized vehicles whatsoever allowed on those trails, so please respect that. It is May 22nd, but the way the trails look right now, it's more like, I think, August 22nd.
Yeah.
Because of how much use that they've received, and a special thank you to Walt and Jane Daniels for their incredible work taking care of our trails, and all of our volunteers who do a great job with our trails. But the other thing I wanted to remind folks, if you were looking for something inspirational to watch this weekend, again, for Memorial Day, check out the American Legion virtual memorial tour. It goes to all of the war memorials in the town of Yorktown. Pat McDonough just did a tremendous job of highlighting all the war memorials in the town of Yorktown. We played it at the end of our town board meeting. You can find it on YouTube, and we'll be putting it up on the town's website and Facebook page as well. And to what Jim and the chief had said, as a reminder, there are no parking zones that are still in effect in and around Turkey Mountain and T-Town. So just be mindful of that when you are going out to those specific trailheads.
And whose idea was that, to put the Yorktown Honors, those banners
It's the
throughout?
Sons of the American Legion, which are, if you've come into the
Fantastic.
Heights, it's just incredible. The Sons of the American Legion, I'm a proud member, but Paul Martin deserves just an absolute mound of credit for pulling this together. So if you come into the Heights, you're going to see these banners recognizing these good-looking soldiers, and it's a perfect time for Memorial Day, and they're going to be up for the summer. And for folks who are interested, just search the Sons of the American Legion website, and you can actually continue to order those banners. I believe Paul said that there's going to be another shipment coming in for June, and so we're going to be adding more banners to honor the men and women who have, again, protected our freedoms and given us this great country. Anything further, gentlemen? No?
That's all I
That
got.
being said, as always, you got to stay safe, stay smart, stay focused. We're about to begin the reopening process. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Again, to the men and women who serve our country, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
For those who made the ultimate sacrifice, we honor and remember you this weekend as well. Thanks so much, Yorktown. We'll see you soon.